Hi everybody. I'm on a lunch break from work and I came home and I find that I'm home alone. My son's not here. So I thought I would take an opportunity to just make a quick video and try to keep this updated as much as I can because I don't know. I want to be able to look back on this someday and hopefully see progress. Reviewed kind of my last three videos and I've kind of been a Debbie Downer. Shouldn't say that. My sister's named Debbie. But anyway, I didn't, it's not all boo-hoo and tears. Actually, overall life is fairly good. I just, have this issue that I want to tackle in my life and I put it off for a long, long time. So I thought that I would take a few minutes and just today just talk about who I am and where I come from and what is my background. So as I mentioned in previous videos, not to beat a dead horse, but I'm 53 years old. I currently live in Boise, Idaho. Originally from the Oregon coast is where I grew up and was raised, and my family, the majority, are still living there. I am a fourth child of 6 children. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. And growing up in our home was a good childhood. My mom had a little bit of a weight issue that she, got through having pregnancies, but she started out very thin, small woman. My dad was very strong, very fit, worked really hard, so he had muscles and just a hard labor kind of guy. My brothers and sisters were all normal sized. And just there was me, and I was the chubby one. And there's always one in every family, or maybe there's not, but if there is, of course, I'm the one. So it was difficult, growing up in a society. I grew up in the 60s and 70s. That was my era, and there were overweight people, but you never saw grossly obese people. People were generally larger, but not huge. And I'm sure there were some. But it's not like today. When I was in high school, junior high, high school, girls were thin. They were tiny, 105, 110 pounds. That was normal. Thin, small. And it is only over the past 30 years, I think, that we've really gotten to be a larger society. And overall in our country and other countries, it's really looked down upon. There's discrimination there. There's which is crazy because there's so many of us that have issues with our weight. Why is there so much discrimination? But I think it's, I think even we who are overweight discriminate. And I must, because I put myself down, so there you go. But it's more common now, I think, to see children and young adults that have a weight problem. And it is kind of sad, and I guess we just have such a much more, what's the word I'm trying to come up with? There's just more stuff available, more accessibility. Now, when I was growing up, we didn't go out to eat. That was a rare occasion, maybe a holiday, Christmas vacation, or somebody's birthday or vacation. When we, went to visit relatives, maybe we'd stop and get a hamburger or something. But going out to eat was definitely a luxury. And I don't know that that's something that other people experienced during that era, but that's the way we grew up. Going to a convenience store to get a 32-ounce soda, that didn't happen. I don't even know that there were convenience stores where I grew up. When I was in high school, there was a 7-Eleven. We had lived in a pretty small town in Oregon, and there was a 7-Eleven, and I remember the seniors were riding the school bus, and our bus driver, she decided to stop and treat the seniors to a Big Gulp. I never even knew what one was, and she asked me what my favorite pop was, and at that time I didn't really have one because we rarely ever drank it, but I was trying to not drink caffeine. I know that I wasn't supposed to drink that, so I told her a 7-Up, and she brought me this 32-ounce cup, of 7-Up, and I thought, what am I supposed to do with this? That's a whole lot of pop, because to me, a bottle of pop was maybe 12 ounces, and it were those little knee-high glass bottles, and maybe my dad bought those occasionally for a treat, but we didn't drink pop. And so I remember taking a few drinks of this pop and thinking, I can't drink this pop. This is too much. And now, we can down a 32-ounce, 48-ounce, whatever soda. I can, Diet Pepsi or something. There it goes. It's gone. So it's funny how things change. But anyway, this is going to get long if I don't come to a point. But basically, I just wanted to share that I know times have changed, and I was that one chubby girl in my family, got teased by my brothers and my sister and my dad, and they loved me, and I knew that I was loved, but there was also that, friends, grandmothers, aunts would say, Shelly's such a pretty girl, if only she'd lose some weight. I know many, many, many of us have heard that line. And as much as I think their intentions are good, that kind of stuff hurts. If you did this, you would be acceptable. If you achieved this, we would love you, And it's not necessarily true that that's the way they meant it, but that's the way it's taken, and it breaks a little heart. It's just an insecurity, and I think we have to be careful if we have children that have a weight issue, not to dwell on it too much. I have since, of course, grown up and got married, and I proceeded to have 4 children with my first husband, and they're all sons, and they're all adults now. My children are grown up and moved on with their lives, and 3 of my children are married and have started raising their own children, and they're all fit and healthy. And I have a 4th son who's still living at home, but he's 20 and he will be leaving soon. But he struggled with his weight, and that happened when he probably was in elementary school. He started to pack on a few extra pounds, and he struggled with it. So it's not easy, being a parent of an overweight child. And because, in my mind, I beat myself up over this issue. And so how do I stop from beating him up over this issue? And I haven't been real great at it. And I think it's been hard on him, but because, it wasn't until recently that he's really tried real hard to make a difference, because he realizes now he can do it. He started working out and, dropped weight pretty quickly, and he's doing well. And so I'm proud of him, and I can't fault him for that. But it's difficult because you love them, you want to help them, but they have to do it themselves. Everybody has to figure this out for themselves, and nobody can do it for them, and I can't force him to do what he needs to do. And I will love him either way, but I have to work really hard at trying to be less critical and more supportive, and I don't know. So I'm married, I'm remarried, and my husband is ex-Navy, works hard, owns his own company, physical job. He's very fit, and he's the same age as I am, only a few months older. And, he's starting to feel the aches and pains of getting a little bit older, but this man can still go and go and go. And he gets by with very little, effort. He can eat anything he wants. He can skip meals. He can eat 16-ounce steaks and baked potatoes. He can eat whatever he wants. Candy, chocolate, cookies, pastries, all that stuff he loves. And weight's not a problem for him. And additionally, he rather likes a woman with a little curve to her. So this is kind of a challenge for me because while he supports my efforts to lose the weight and be healthy, which he wants me to be healthy, to get rid of the, hopefully, to eliminate diabetes and high blood pressure and all these things that plague me, he also kind of wants to hang on to the heavier Shelly. And so this is hard for me, being a people pleaser kind of person. I've got to try to find a way to manage that and hope that it goes okay, because we have a great marriage and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. So anyway, that's me in a nutshell. The latest update I have, which isn't an update because I've talked about it already, is tomorrow I see the pulmonologist to see what the results are on my sleep study that I had a couple weeks ago, and I'm excited to see how that goes. I just want to get this thing happening. I just want to get my surgery date, but until I get that done, the doctor's not going to let the insurance submit my information to the insurance company. So fingers crossed, it's good news. I can get through this and get my surgery date set so things can get a little bit more interesting around here. But for now, that's all I have. And I have 1 subscriber. I'm so excited. Thank you for signing up for my channel, and I hope that more people do too, and love to hear some feedback. I can take it. I got a pretty tough skin. Well, maybe. We'll see how it goes. But I want to make things interesting, but I don't really know. But here I am. It's my lunch. I got to get back to work. So, bye-bye.